My best friend's husband was beating the hell out of her. So, I dragged my brother over there in the middle of the night to teach the scumbag a lesson and bring her home safely. But the very next day, the husband turned up dead. And she pointed the finger straight at my brother for murder. Because of her testimony, my brother was sentenced to death. My mom died of grief and anger, using her final breath to blame me for trusting the wrong people. My dad couldn't forgive me and cut me off completely. Even my fiance dumped me. Meanwhile, my so-called best friend remarried within 6 months and started living a picture-perfect, peaceful life. In a daze of despair, I fell off a cliff to my death. But when I opened my eyes again, I was back, reborn. On the exact night she was being beaten, I was dragging my brother towards that trashy apartment complex where my so-called best friend, Bella, lived. Which apartment is Bella in again? Brad asked, checking his watch. Brad, wait. I slammed the brakes, grabbing his arm. Shit. I left the stove on. I'm making a pot roast. You cooked? Yes. Go back to the car and drive home now. If the house burns down, Mom's gonna kill us. Bella, isn't her husband beating the crap out of her right now? Chloe, you can't handle Travis alone. We need to neutralize that psycho before he does real damage. Relax. Brad. She needs to build up some tolerance. Just go. I literally had to shove him towards his car to get rid of him. Standing in front of Bella's door, I could hear the screaming inside. It sounded like a slaughterhouse. In my last life, we kicked this door down. Brad pinned Travis to the floor and punched his lights out. Travis apologized, swore on his mother's grave he'd change. The next day, Travis dropped dead. My brother, my hero, got framed for murder. Brad has heavy hands, sure, but he's not a killer. Something else happened to that piece of trash. You Feng. Not this time. I knocked on the door lazily. Hot. They didn't open up. I was bouncing. I'd just say I couldn't get in. Click. The door swung open. Bella stood there, face a mess of tears and snot. Brad, save me. Boo. She froze. It was just me. No big, strong protector. Where's Brad? Chloe, why didn't you bring your brother? Before she could finish whining, Travis grabbed a handful of her hair and dragged her back inside. Like a caveman, I stood in the doorway, putting on my best fake concerned face. Travis, stop. Look, even if Bella was texting other dudes, she probably hasn't banged them yet. You can't beat her just for talking dirty. Travis had his hand raised, hesitating. But when he heard my words, that slap came down like the hand of God. Whack you. Cheating skank. You're wearing a green hat on my head. You want to play games? I'll kill you first. Travis went full psycho mode. Bella screamed, Chloe. What the hell are you saying? I never texted anyone. Another slap smack. I rushed forward, pretending to panic. Wait, isn't that why you're mad? My bad. I thought you caught her chatting with those 5 other guys. 5? Bella. You slut. I'm gonna end you. Before coming up, I'd stopped at the 7-Eleven downstairs and bought a glass bottle of Bud Light. Purely for self-defense, of course, just in case Travis swung at me. A beer bottle is a great equalizer. Hurtful, but usually not lethal. But in the heat of the moment, Travis snatched the bottle right out of my hand. Smash. He cracked it right over Bella's skull. Beer and blood poured down her face. Bella touched her forehead, saw the red, and turned into a heavy sack. Sliding to the floor, Travis froze. He dropped the jagged glass neck like it was radioactive. Better get her to the ER. Travis don't want a murder charge. I'll call an Uber. Travis snapped out of it, scooped up his bloody wife, followed me. Walking down the stairs, I felt eyes drilling into my back. Cold, hateful eyes. Travis didn't die because of my brother. Last time someone killed him, was it Bella? I wasn't sure. She was with me that whole night. In my past life, let's be real, Travis was a tank. Bella couldn't take him one-on-one. There was definitely a third player in this game. Ideally, Bella would have died. But roaches are hard to kill. By dawn, she was stitched up. I played the role of the perfect BFF. Paying bills, flirting with doctors to get meds, running around like an idiot. Travis kept thanking me, blaming the booze. I had too many shots. Chloe, you know how it is. I looked at Bella. You gonna call 911? Travis immediately dropped to his knees by the hospital bed, bobbing like a baby, banging his head on the floor. Baby, I'm sorry. I love you. It was so loud. The nurses and security came running. Bella, being the classic victim, said she forgave him. No caps. They looked like a happy couple. Again. Disgusting. I turned to leave. Chloe. Bella rasped. You said you were bringing Brad. Why did you show up alone with a beer? And what was that bullshit about me sexting? I shrugged. Cool as ice. Brad had a business emergency. I bought the beer to sit down and talk man to man with Travis. No bond over a cold one. As for the sexting, well, why else would he beat you? I was just guessing. Why did he beat you? Bella gripped the sheets, trembling. Just marriage stuff. Private stuff, right? You call me screaming that he's gonna kill you. I rush over, and now it's private stuff. I rolled my eyes.
I'm sorry, Chloe.
Go get some sleep. I waved goodbye to Travis.
Hey,
Keep your hands off her, all right? Bedroom quarrel should end in the bedroom.
not the ER.
Hit her again, and I will call the cops. Travis nodded like a bobblehead as I walked out. I heard him whisper to Bella, your friend is solid. She actually wants us to work it out. Usually your friends just scream. Divorce him the second we fight. He's acting weird. Bella mumbled like a different person. I smirked in the hallway. Yeah, in the past, I'd listen to her sob stories about how evil Travis was, and tell her to leave his ass. I was brain dead back then for these two toxic psychos. I should just offer thoughts and prayers. Divorce? Hell no. Stay together and torture each other forever. I got home to find Brad unpacking breakfast burritos. Isabella. They kissed and made up. Brad's jaw dropped after an ER visit. Not our circus. Not our monkeys, bro, wait. Brad frowned. You didn't make a pot roast last night? Why did you really make me come home? I actually drove back to her place later. And saw you guys getting into a cab. I broke into a cold sweat. He went back. Thank God for the beer bottle incident. If Brad had walked in while Travis was swinging, history would have repeated itself. Brad, listen to me. If Bella asks, you were at the office all night. Vital business crisis. Don't slip up. Why all the secrets? I thought you and Bella were sisters from another mister. Plastic sisters, I corrected. Do not get involved with her drama. If she calls, ghost her. Brad chuckled. All right, boss. I'm off to work.
Brad.
I hugged him tight. Being able to smell his cologne, feel his warmth hit me hard. Let's stay alive this time, okay? Let's live to be ancient. He ruffled my hair. Old and wrinkly.
Sounds like a plan.
Now go study. You need to pass those exams. I'm just a hustler. You're the brains of this family. Brad was brilliant, but we grew up poor. He sacrificed his college years to work odd jobs, so I could focus on school. Now he ran a successful import-export company. He bought my parents a house. Bought me this condo. A girl needs her own territory. He told me once. So if a guy treats you like dirt, you have a fortress to retreat to. My brother was the best man on earth, and I got him killed. Not this time. I was going to shield him from everything, especially the cancer named Bella. But sadly, some tumors try to grow back no matter how much you cut. Couple days later, I open my door and there she is. Bella crying her eyes out. And Brad is holding her pink suitcase, looking sympathetic. Chloe, help her out, Brad said. Get her stuff inside.
Bella sniffled.
Looking pathetic. Chloe, Travis hit me again. I'm done. I'm divorcing him. Thank God. I ran into Brad on the street. Ran into him. My ass exploded. I didn't let her finish.
Bella.
You live on the west side. Brad's office is on the east side. That's a 40-minute drive. You ran into him. You stalked him to his office. Get lost. Don't bring your bad juju into my house. I grabbed her suitcase and chucked it into the hallway. Bella froze, tears drying up instantly from the shock. Chloe, Brad shouted. What is wrong with you? He's your best friend. Is this how I raised you? He brought the bag back in. I threw it out again. He fetched it. I chucked it. Chloe, are you insane? Brad yelled. Bella saw her opening. She collapsed on the floor and started wailing at top volume. My life is hell. Boo-hoo. My husband beats me. My best friend kicks me out. What's the point? Perfectly living? I should just die. She scrambled up and bolted for the stairs leading to the roof. We lived on the top floor. The roof was just one flight up.
Bella, no.
Brad chased after her. I followed slowly. Up on the roof, Bella stood near the ledge, screaming to the world, nobody loves me.
I'm dumping. Goodbye.
Cruel world. Neighbors started pouring out of their units. Police sirens wailed in the distance. People whipped out their phones. Of course, content comes first. I leaned against the door frame, bored.
Hey.
Hurry up and jump. If you don't do it today, I'm gonna be disappointed. The crowd gasped. A neighbor was live streaming, pointing his phone right in my face. Look at this witch. Her friend is suicidal, and she's egging her on. Toxic much? The comments on his feed were probably tearing me apart. Mind your own business. Snapped at the streamer. You feel so bad for her, you take her in, let her sleep in your bed? The guy stuttered. She not my friend. I yelled at Bella.
Hey.
Neighbor. Guy says you can crash at his place. Go die in his living room instead. Bella howled louder, inching closer to the edge, but gripping the railing so hard her knuckles were white. Suddenly the streamer's wife appeared, a large, angry woman. She grabbed the guy by his ear. Authorizing shelter for strange women now. Are we? Get your ass inside, and help the kids with homework. She dragged him away while he yelped. It was pure comedy, stealing Bella's spotlight. Bella screamed again to get attention back. Brad was pleading with her. Bella, please come down. You can stay. Chloe won't kick you out. I promise. She looked like she was considering it. Nope, I said loudly. Not happening. This condo is in my name. Brad has zero say. If you want into my house, the only way is to jump and haunt it as a ghost. Cops and fire department arrived. Miss. A cop yelled at me. Stop provoking her. Help us talk her down. It's a life or death situation. An old lady neighbor wagged a finger at me. You heartless little brat. Think of the property values if she splatters on the sidewalk. Bella saw everyone turning on me. I saw a smirk flicker through her tears. I walked straight up to the ledge, right next to Bella. I grabbed her shoulders.
Allicht, bet.
Sisters forever, right? Let's jump. Let's go. I screamed, staring deep into Bella's wide, terrified eyes. You want to die? I've already died once. It's not that bad. The landing is a bitch, but the silence after? It's peaceful.
Come on, Bella.
On three. I tightened my grip on her thin shoulders and leaned my weight forward. We teetered. The wind whipped her hair into my mouth, tasting of strawberry shampoo and deceit. 1, I shouted. Bella's face went from tragic victim to primal horror. Her fingernails clawed into my arms, drawing blood.
2.
I lifted my foot.
No. No.
Get off me. Bella shrieked, her voice cracking, losing all its sultry, pathetic charm. She didn't sound suicidal anymore. She sounded like a cornered rat. She threw her weight backward, slamming us both onto the rough gravel of the roof. I landed on top of her, knocking the wind out of her lungs. I brought my face inches from hers. You don't want to die, Bella. I hissed low enough that only she could hear. You just want a new host to bleed dry. But listen to me carefully. I am not the Chloe you knew. If you touch my brother, I won't need gravity. I'll dismantle you piece by piece. Brad rushed over, pulling me off her. Chloe, are you crazy? I dusted off my knees, watching Bella hyperventilate, clutching her chest for the audience. The neighbors were murmuring now. The spell was broken. A suicidal woman doesn't fight that hard to stay on the roof. She hesitated, I said loudly, addressing the cops who were finally bursting through the door. Crisis averted. She wants to live, specifically in my guest room. The cop glared at me. You need a psych eval, lady. Join the line, I muttered. Brad helped Bella up. She looked at him, waiting for him to scold me, to banish me. But Brad looked at the scratches on my arm where Bella had clawed me. He looked at the terror in her eyes, not despair, but fear of me. Let's just go downstairs, Brad said, his voice flat. Part 2, the parasite. Bella moved in. There was no stopping it. Brad was too good, too honorable. He saw a battered woman. I saw a ticking time bomb. But this time, I changed the rules. She sleeps on the couch. I told Brad that night while Bella was in the shower, using my expensive body wash. And she doesn't get a key. Chloe, she's scared. She's a liability. Travis is crazy, Brad. If he finds out she's here, he comes here. He brings a gun or a bat or fire. You want mom and dad involved in this? You want our house shot up? Brad rubbed his temples. So what do? Throw her to the wolves.
No.
We find out why the wolf is hunting her. I started my operation the next day. I took a leave of absence from my classes. I had bigger subjects to study: trauma, manipulation, and forensics. While Bella played house, cooking breakfast for Brad in my oversized shirts, trying to look domestic and vulnerable, I bugged the living room. High-end listening devices, hidden in the smoke detector and behind the router. I needed to know who the third player was. In my last life, Travis died of a blunt force trauma that was blamed on Brad. But Brad had only punched him. A punch doesn't kill a tank like Travis hours later unless he was already dying. 3 days in, I caught a break. I was in my room with headphones on, listening to the feed from the living room. Brad was at work. Bella was supposed to be resting.
Ring. Ring.
Hello. Bella's voice. Not the whiny, high-pitched victim voice. Her real voice. Deep, annoyed, commanding. Yeah, I'm at his place. No, the sister is a psycho. She knows something. I don't know. She's acting different. Look, do you have the stuff? No, Travis is still blowing up my phone. If he comes here, we stick to the plan. But I need the insulin, Eric. He's borderline diabetic, remember? It'll look like an accident if we dose him right. Just bring it. I froze.
Eric.
Dr. Eric Miller. I remembered him. He was the ER doctor who stitched Bella up last week. The one she was flirting with. The one who testified in my brother's trial, saying the blows to Travis's head were consistent with lethal force. He wasn't a witness. He was an accomplice. Travis wasn't beaten to death. He was murdered with an insulin overdose to mimic heart failure or a coma, and when they found bruises from Brad, they took the easy route and framed my brother. My blood ran cold. Bella wasn't just hiding from abuse. She was orchestrating an exit strategy that left her a wealthy widow and my brother a felon. Part 3. The setup. I needed Brad to see it. Words wouldn't work. Brad had a savior complex. If I told him Bella was evil, he'd think I was just jealous or cruel. He needed to see the monster unzip its human suit. I waited for the weekend. Travis had been quiet, which meant he was brewing. I'm going to the library, I announced Saturday morning. Okay, Brad said, drinking his coffee. Bella was massaging his shoulders, pretending to look for gray hairs. It made me want to vomit. I left, circled the block, and slipped into the maintenance closet in the hallway where I could access the camera feeds on my laptop. An hour later, the doorbell rang. On the screen, I saw Bella check the peephole. She smoothed her hair, pulled her robe down to show more cleavage, and opened the door. It wasn't Travis. It was a tall, lanky man with glasses.
Dr. Eric.
Where is he? Eric asked, stepping inside.
Work.
The sister's out, Bella said. She wrapped her arms around his neck and kissed him. It was a hungry, nasty kiss. I recorded everything. Did you bring it? She asked. Eric pulled a small vial and a syringe from his pocket. This is dangerous, Bella. If they do a full toxicology screen. They won't. Travis is a drunk. He gets into a fight, he goes home, he passes out, his heart stops. Everyone blames the booze or the beating. Especially if Brad beats him up again. You really think you can get the brother to do it?
Bella laughed.
It was a cold, sharp sound. Brad?
He's a puppy.
I just have to cry a little, say Travis threatened to kill me, and Brad will go over there and smash his face in. Then we slip in, inject the drunk bastard, and boom. I'm free, and Brad takes the fall. Or he pays for a frantic lawyer, and we milk him for bail money. I watched Brad's life being traded for a few ounces of freedom and an insurance payout.
I didn't storm in. Not yet.
I needed Travis. I took screenshots of Bella kissing Eric. I took the audio clip of them discussing the murder plot. Then, I did something dangerous. I bought a burner phone and texted the photo to Travis. Caption: while you're crying over her, she's with her doctor. At my brother's house. 404 Oak Street, apartment 5B. Then I waited. Part 4. The dinner party. I went back to the apartment an hour later. Eric was gone. Bella was on the couch, reading a magazine. Hey, I said cheerfully. I bought steaks. Let's have a nice dinner tonight. Brad, you too. Brad looked relieved. Really? You're okay with everything?
Yeah.
Life's too short to hold grudges. I smiled. I'm making my special marinade. I cooked. The apartment smelled of garlic and rosemary. We sat down. The atmosphere was tense but civil. So, Bella, I said, cutting into my steak. How's Dr. Eric? Bella dropped her fork. It clattered against the porcelain.
Who?
The doctor from the ER. I saw his car downstairs earlier. Nice guy. Very attentive. Brad looked up. The doctor came here?
No, Bella stammered.
Chloe, what are you talking about? I haven't seen him since the hospital. I pulled out my phone. That's weird. Because my nanny cam saw him. I placed the phone on the table. I didn't play the murder audio yet. Just the video of them kissing. Brad stared at the screen. His face went pale, then red. The silence was heavy, thick enough to choke on. Brad, let me explain, Bella started, her voice trembling. He forced himself. Stop, Brad said. His voice was quiet. He walked in. You kissed him. You laughed. Brad, I was lonely. You're always working, and Travis. You're living in my house. Brad stood up, his chair scraping violently against the floor. You're hiding from your husband, and you're banging a doctor in my living room? It's not what it looks like. It looks like you're a liar. I added helpfully.
Bam, bam, bam.
The front door shook. Someone was hammering on it with enough force to crack the wood. Open the door. It was Travis.
Bella screamed.
This time it was real. He's going to kill me, she shrieked, diving behind Brad. Brad hesitated. The old Brad would have stepped in front of her. The new Brad, the one who just watched her suck face with another man, stepped aside. Chloe, get back, Brad said to me. He walked to the door and unlocked it. Travis burst in like a bull seeing red. He was drunk, eyes bloodshot, veins popping in his neck. He held a tire iron in one hand. Where is she? Travis roared. She's right there. I pointed to the corner where Bella was cowering. Travis charged. Travis, wait.
Bella screamed.
It's a lie.
Chloe photoshopped it.
Travis didn't care about photoshops. He cared that his property was damaged. He raised the tire iron. Brad caught his arm. "Don't do it here, Travis," Brad said, straining against the other man's strength. "You kill her here, you go to jail for life. Look at me." Travis snarled, trying to shake Brad off. "She's cheating on me. With a doctor?" "I know," Brad said. "I saw it too. She's trash, Travis. She's not worth the prison time." Travis paused, confused. He expected a fight. He expected the white knight. Instead, he got a man who looked just as disgusted as he was. "She played us both," I said, stepping forward carefully. "She wants you to go to jail, Travis. She has a plan. She wants you to beat her up, or kill her, or get killed by Brad, so she can run off with the doctor." "You're lying,"
Bella yelled.
"Travis, baby, they're crazy. Shut up." Travis backhanded the air, making her flinch.
He looked at me.
"What plan?" I held up my phone again. I pressed play on the audio file. "I need the insulin, Eric. It'll look like an accident. Brad takes the fall." The voice filled the room. Bella's voice.
Cold.
Calculating. Travis lowered the tire iron. His face went slack. He looked from the phone to Bella. The rage drained out, replaced by a terrifying, cold realization. "You were gonna kill me?" Travis whispered. "No, Travis, eat." "Insulin." Travis laughed. It was a broken sound. "I work double shifts to pay for your clothes, your car. I put up with your nagging. Yeah, I got a temper, but I never plotted to kill you." "Travis, please." Bella was sobbing now, crawling toward him. "It was Eric's idea. Get away from me." Travis kicked her away. Not hard, just enough to keep her from touching him. He looked at Brad. "I'm taking her home." Brad nodded. "Get her out of my house." "Wait," I said. "Travis, if you take her home, and she dies, you go to jail. If you die, she wins. You can't just take her home." "Then what do I do?" Travis asked, looking lost. The monster had been defanged by the truth. "We call the police," I said. "Conspiracy to commit murder. I have the evidence. She goes to prison. Eric goes to prison. You get a divorce, and you keep the house." Travis looked at Bella, huddled on the floor. "Prison. It's better than she deserves," I said. "But it keeps your hands clean." Travis dropped the tire iron. "Call them." Part 5. The twist. The police came. They listened to the audio. They arrested Bella and put out an APB for Dr. Eric Miller. As they handcuffed Bella, she didn't look at Travis. She looked at me. Her eyes were black holes of hate. "You're a witch," she spat. "How did you know? How could you possibly know?" I leaned in close as the officer shoved her toward the door. "I told you, Bella. I've already died once. I see everything now." She was dragged away, screaming. Brad sat on the couch, head in his hands. Travis stood awkwardly by the door. "Sorry about the door," Travis mumbled. "Sorry I punched you last year," Brad said. "I deserved that one," Travis admitted. He looked at me. "You saved my life, kid. I would have drank myself into a coma tonight if you hadn't sent that text. Just sign the divorce papers, Travis. And get therapy." He nodded and left. It seemed over. We had won. The timeline was fixed. But fate is a tricky thing. 2 weeks later, Brad was at work. I was home alone studying. The buzzer rang. Delivery. I opened the door, expecting pizza. Instead, I felt a needle plunge into my neck. The world spun. I saw a white coat. Glasses. Dr. Eric. He hadn't been caught. "You ruined everything," a voice whispered as darkness swallowed me. "Bella sends her regards." Part 6. Resurrection. I woke up in a trunk. The smell of gasoline and mildew filled my nose. My hands were zip-tied. The car was moving. I didn't panic. Panic is for people who haven't fallen off a cliff before. I focused on the vibration of the road. We were on gravel. The car stopped. The trunk opened. Eric stood there, looking disheveled, frantic. He held a gun. "Get out." I climbed out. We were at the old quarry. The same cliffs where I had died in my previous life. The irony was almost funny. "Where's Bella?" I asked, my voice raspy. "Bailed out," Eric sneered. "She rolled on me instantly. Said I forced her. But I'm not going down alone. You ruin my life, I end yours. Killing me won't fix your medical license, Eric." "Shut up." He waved the gun. "Walk to the edge." I walked. The wind was howling, just like before. "You know," I said, turning to face him. "You're not a killer, Eric. You're a doctor. You use needles, not guns." "I can learn." "You're shaking." "Turn around," he screamed. I heard tires screeching in the distance.
Brad.
I had a GPS tracker in my shoe.
Paranoia pays off.
"My brother's coming," I said. "He's about 2 minutes away. If you shoot me," he sees the muzzle flash. You're done. I'm already done, Eric cried. He looked pathetic. A man destroyed by a woman who used sex like a weapon.
You can testify, I said.
Against her. Tell them it was her idea. You were manipulated. You loved her. She used you. Juries love a crime of passion. Eric lowered the gun slightly. She said she loved me. She said she loved Travis too. And me. Bella only loves the mirror, Eric.
He slumped.
The gun dangled at his side. Then, a shot rang out. Eric's chest exploded in red. He fell backward. I spun around. Bella stood there, emerging from the shadows of the tree line. She held a small pistol, Travis's pistol. She was out on bail, and she had come to tie up loose ends. You men are so useless, she said, walking toward me. She looked deranged. Her perfect hair was matted, her makeup smeared. I have to do everything myself. You shot him, I said, stepping back toward the ledge.
He was going to talk.
And you? She aimed the gun at me. You just won't die.
I'm stubborn.
Jump, Chloe. Just like you wanted. Jump, and I'll tell the police Eric kidnapped you, and I tried to save you but failed. I'll be the hero. You'll never get away with it. Watch me. She cocked the hammer. I looked down at the abyss. Then I looked at her. Brad, I screamed. Bella flinched, turning her head slightly. I didn't jump off the cliff.
Over here.
We crashed to the ground. The gun skittered away. Bella was scrappy, fueled by adrenaline and madness. She clawed at my eyes, screaming. I punched her. A solid right hook I'd been practicing in the mirror. She fell back, dazed. I scrambled for the gun. She grabbed my ankle and yanked. I fell, my face hitting the dirt. She crawled on top of me, hands around my throat. Why won't you just die? My vision started to spot. I couldn't breathe. Then, a shadow fell over us. Thwack. Bella went limp. Brad stood there, breathing heavy, holding a tire iron, the same one Travis had brought to the apartment. He pulled Bella off me. She was unconscious, bleeding from the head. You okay? Brad asked, his voice breaking. I coughed, sucking in sweet, cold air. You hit a girl. I hit a murderer, Brad said. He dropped the iron and hugged me. He was shaking. I thought I lost you. Again. I don't know why I said again, but I felt it. It's over, I whispered. Epilogue, the green hat. Bella survived the head trauma. She woke up handcuffed to a hospital bed. Between the audio recordings, the attempted murder of me, and the ballistics matching the gun that killed Eric to her hand residue, there was no wiggling out. She got life without parole. Travis divorced her in absentia. He sold the apartment and moved to Montana to work on a ranch. He sent us a Christmas card. No words, just a picture of a horse. Brad. And I moved out of the city. He expanded his business, but he stopped working late nights. We have Sunday dinners.
We talk.
I eventually finished school. I became a prosecutor. I specialize in domestic cases. Sometimes I visit Bella in prison, not to gloat, just to make sure she's still there. She sits behind the glass, older, harder. The beauty is gone, eaten away by bitterness. You stole my life, she says every time. No, I reply, standing up to leave. I just took mine back. I walk out into the sunlight. The air is fresh. My brother is waiting in the car, alive, happy, free. I check my watch. I left the stove on. But this time, it's just a pot roast. And I have plenty of time to get home.